guys and gals, it's Steph with Tiny's Garden. Welcome back. Today we are doing a video that is covering what you need to sow in March. Seed starting season is well underway now and there's a ton to get started in March. I will be going over 30 different varieties today. Let's hop right in. And take note, these dates that I'm giving you are based off of my last frost date here gardening in zone 5B of April 30th. So if you're not in my zone, and of course if you have a different frost date, you're going to need to adjust a little bit based on that. Remember that, it's important. First off, in March is a time when you may be doing some succession plantings. Succession plantings is simply replanting a variety that you already planted. So for me, that's going to be my Snapdragons. That's something that I'm going to succession plant because the point of succession planting is so that you have blooms through the whole stretch of a season. For Snapdragons, if you plant them back in February, which I did, my first round went in on February 11th and 12th. If you want more blooms after that round has come and gone, you're going to want to do another succession after that. About 2 to 3 weeks is typically when succession planting takes place. It's not necessary. Mostly this is done if you're in the business of selling flowers or on a flower farm, but sometimes home gardeners or avid gardeners will like to have more blooms throughout the season of a certain type of flower, and succession planting is a way to do that. So that's what's first on my list is succession planting Snapdragons, specifically some of them that didn't germinate super well for me, which is the Day and Night Snapdragon, the Rembrant Snapdragon. For whatever reason, one of my trays that I had those varieties in didn't do very well. So I want to do those again so that I hopefully get some more of those specific varieties. And then also Apple Blossom, which I think is going to be gorgeous. I want to redo that one, A, because it's the one I'm most looking forward to, and B, because again, it was a little less productive the first time around. Similarly, Bells of Ireland, I need to do another succession planting of. Again, to have more of these blooms throughout the season. My first batch of Bells of Ireland went in on February 16th, so now it's 2 to 3 weeks later. Today is March 7th, so if I get them in today, that's going to be perfect. Same thing with the Snapdragons. This is good timing. 2 to 3 weeks later is what we're looking for succession planting. So those two are on my March list. Now moving on to things I haven't planted yet and I'm sowing for the first time in March. All right, March 11th. I've got all of them rubber banded together on what varieties are in which day. I'm gonna keep them like this till that day comes, so everything's together. We have Strawberry Fields Gomphrena. I am excited for this one. This is a new one for me this year. Heard wonderful things, so I'm excited to start her from seed, and of course, she gives me my red that I'm loving all day long. Next we have Strawflower, the Sultane mix, and Purple Red. I also have some seeds from last year left over, the Copper Red, and also Scarlet. My Strawflowers were huge last year, really tall. I'll link a video below to my tiny cut flower garden from last year that I posted at the height of the season in July. And there you can tell, whoo, those babies were tall and big. Didn't think they were gonna get quite that tall, but they're pretty. Not my favorite in the world, but still pretty. Then we have Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. Another new one for me this year, but I have heard people absolutely raving about this one. Special note on this, I am planting this in 4-inch pots right away. Next we have Matsumoto Apricot Aster. I went back and got this fairly late in my shopping rendezvous for seeds, but I thought it really had a beautiful color and will be somewhat of a nice neutral for arrangements. And then we have another Aster, Tower Chamois from Botanical Interest. Then a couple left over from last year, Valkyrie Brunhilde Chamois and Lady Coral Lavendar. These did okay for me last year. They weren't my favorite. I'll see how they do in a raised bed this year instead of a regular garden landscape bed. We have really heavy clay soil and I'm thinking maybe it just didn't like our soil or the pH or something. So we're gonna give those another go. Then rounding out my March 11th sowings, we have Scabiosa. Fire King is the first one. Fama White and Black Knight. Isn't that Black Knight one just daring? Really grabs you in. Looking forward to that. That's it for my March 11th group. Now we have March 25th. All of these will be sown on March 25th. We have Amaranth Hot Biscuits. I did grow Amaranth last year and loved it. I thought it was beautiful in arrangements. Also a nice tall flower I even used in containers in the back, and it was beautiful. I have not done the Hot Biscuits one, but I hear it is a favorite for arranging, so looking forward to her. Then using two of last year's Red Spike Amaranth and also Coral Fountain Amaranth. Then we come to the Cosmo category. Okay, quick chat. I have not always been on the Cosmo choo-choo train. For whatever reason, they just didn't really grab me before, but now I've learned some more about them, have found some new varieties, and I'm pretty excited about them. The first one is Rubenza. This one's botanical interest. I've heard a lot of people grow this, and I have to say, I wasn't taken with the color. It's kind of cranberry looking to me, but I thought, well, you gotta try it in person. You gotta see it. Then I have a bunch from Johnny's. I have Fizzy White, Double Click Snow Puff, which I'm most excited for. It looks like there's a double bloom on these. Now these I think are gorgeous. I just didn't know about them before. Double Click Cranberries. Then we have Cupcakes Blush. And now zinnias or zinnias, however you want to pronounce it. Again, guys, I gotta be honest, wasn't a huge zinnia fan before. So it's my first year growing these as well. But again, through reading different things and watching different things and learning about new varieties, I think I might become a zinnia girl. We have Zowie Yellow Flame, Cinderella Peach, Giant Dahlia Flowered Scarlet, and Jazzy Mix. Now take note, I also have some other varieties of zinnias that I'm starting on April 25th, not in March. But I wanted to be clear what the different varieties are. So that's the Oklahoma varieties. For me, that's Oklahoma Salmon and Oklahoma White. And also the Queen varieties. So for me, that's Queen Lime with Blush. Those are all April 25th, a month from March 25th. Continuing on, now we have Celosia. I know some people say Celosia, but I still like Celosia a little better. Flamingo Feather. Then we have Selway Red, Sunday Cherry. Those reds seem really similar, but I think the actual size of the bloom is a little different, but I'm looking forward to seeing the differences between those and the nuances. And Sunday Gold. And that is it, friends. Those are the 30 varieties that I am starting in March this seed starting season. Please comment below and let me know what else you are starting and what you're most excited for. March is right before April, and April things really pick up with spring coming into its own. So I'm wishing you all the best in seed starting for the rest of the season, and I'll be back with a video about April seeds as well, because there's some things you'll still start in April, like these other zinnias. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you follow along here with all things garden, and we will see you in the next one. As always, happy planting! Bye!